Deckard Bell was your dad. So that's pretty much it for Cersei. She ended up having to marry Robert, and at first she was kind of excited about it, but then obviously things went south. She's been bitter about it. She's been bitter her whole life that, like, she doesn't have a dick. Like, she's like, I deserve to be the man in this household, even though she's totally an ineffectual leader. And, like, she wants power so bad, but then when she gets it, she doesn't know what to do with it, you know? I mean, she's just completely ridiculous. Like, and she surrounds herself with people who, like, don't tell her the truth, like, because she doesn't want to deal with hard truths. Like, she's just the worst. She's the worst leader ever.
Penis envy.
Penis envy. And not only that, not only is she a total bitch, but she's like a terrible mom.
He doesn't listen to me.
It's hard to put a leash on a dog once you've put a crown on its head.
Which brings us to her children. So Tommen and Marcella have really benefited from, like, nobody really giving a shit about them, I guess. I don't know. Like, Cersei's, like, kind of put all her eggs in the Joffrey basket and kind of doesn't, like, deal with Marcella and Tommen nearly as much, which is a good thing for them because they're not quite as fucked up. But Joffrey, on the other hand, has been completely ruined and is totally fucked up by his parents.
Someday, you'll sit on the throne and the truth will be what you make it.
Well, I should say one parent, because he never really had a father figure. Both of his fathers have essentially rejected him, which kind of makes me feel bad for him, but at the same time, he's such a little sadistic shithead that, like, you really can't feel that bad for him. For example, let me tell you a story that illustrates how messed up Joffrey is. So when he was a little kid, he heard that this cat in the kitchens was pregnant. So he went down there, opened up Mama Cat's belly, murdered her, took out her unborn kittens, brought one of the kittens to Robert and was like, check out this kitten. And Robert was so disgusted that he slapped the shit out of Joffrey, slapped out 2 of his fucking baby teeth, and was just like, what is wrong with you? Like, that's totally some shit little serial killers pull, you know? It's not good. It's not a good sign, killing animals at an early age.
Oh, I hate that little shit.
And that's one of the reasons why Robert Baratheon really kept a distance from his kid, you know, well, his supposed kid. So now let's look at a highlight reel of some of Joffrey's worst atrocities.
You gotta kill the switch. You're from the 70s, but I'm a 90s bitch. I don't care. I love it. I don't care. I love it. I love it. I don't care. I love it. I don't care. I love it. I love it. I don't care.
I can't stand the wailing of women.
So now let's talk about the littlest Lannister, Tyrion. He's a total fan favorite and he's had a crazy life, so let's get into it.
Never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not. Wear it like armor, and it can never be used to hurt you.
What the hell do you know about being a bastard?
All dwarves are bastards in their father's eyes.
So when Tyrion was born, he immediately bummed out his father Tywin and his sister Cersei because he killed Joanna on the way out. Shit happens in childbirth back then. Shit happens in childbirth today. And, like, they never forgave him for that. First of all, Tywin never smiled after Joanna's death. His brother Kevin has said that, like, the best part of Tywin died when Joanna did. Cersei fucking hated him. Like, there's this time when Oberyn Martell and his sister Aaliyah, they came to visit the Lannisters at Casterly Rock, and then, like, Jaime and Cersei were 9 years old when Tyrion was born. So Jaime and Cersei go to show those two, like, the new baby Tyrion. And Cersei starts, like, twisting Tyrion's little baby dick until, like, Tyrion starts crying. And then, like, Jaime, like, stops her.
Why did Cersei twist his penis?
Well, Cersei, like I said, is a total bitch. And she also hates him because he killed her mom. So in this world and in real-life medieval times, if Tyrion had been born to a low-born family, he may have been abandoned, he may have been killed, because back then, like, people couldn't, like, make allowances for dwarves. Like, people had kids to help them do stuff, okay? And, like, if you couldn't do stuff, like plow the fields, then you were fucked, all right? But because Tyrion was born to the rich Lannisters, he was allowed to live. But also because he was born to the Lannisters and allowed to live, they feel like he's shamed their family and that he's like this walking embarrassment to them, you know? And it's like, and can you imagine Tywin, who thinks he's like the biggest badass on earth, and then like his seed, like he brings forth a dwarf, like his son is like this misshapen dwarf? Like that's such That is so fucking embarrassing to Tywin, okay? Like, he fucking hates that. If you paid attention earlier, Tywin does not like being embarrassed, and he feels like Tyrion is a total embarrassment. So, like, Tyrion had just no chance in this life with his family. And the only person who's been kind to him is Jaime, and, like, that's it. Like, everybody else has just been such an asshole to him. But I love the fact that he has a fucking great attitude despite that. Like, that's so amazing. And he's like, well, you know what? Fuck you. I still know that I'm fucking smart, and I still know that I have a purpose, and that I can be helpful. And Tyrion is the only Lannister that isn't some narcissistic sociopath. He has empathy for other people.
Why do you want to help him?
I have a tender spot in my heart for cripples, bastards, and broken things.
And because of this, he has a unique perspective where he understands all sorts of different types of people in society. Being highborn, he's had access to education and all this sort of great stuff that's like made him smarter to where he can understand like highborn people, politics, complexities, things like that.
Let's do something I'm good at.
What are you good at?
I happen to be a great judge of character.
He understands the plight of like lower-born people and like fucked up people. I mean, he gets it. Like, he has sympathy. So here's a couple little side stories about Tyrion that you may not know. One of them being that when he turned 16 years old, and in that world you're a man when you're 16, he wanted to go on this big trip that all the other Lannisters have done, where you get to travel to all the 9 free cities and like see all this great stuff, because he's totally an anthropologist and he loves seeing all these different cultures. He loves to learn.
Where's your sense of wonder? The greatest structure ever built.
But then his dad was like, well, I'm not going to let you go to any of these 9 cities because he's embarrassed of him. He doesn't want to parade him around all over the place. So instead, Tywin's like, you can be in charge of all the cisterns and drains in Casterly Rock instead of going on this awesome journey. And Tyrion's like, God damn it, you got me. But then Tyrion shows his father up by like having the best fucking drainage Casterly Rock has ever seen. Like, when he's in charge of the cisterns, like, he does such a good job that like shit's never flowed better, and Tywin still never gives him props for it. And this is just another reason why I love Tyrion. Instead of being pissed that his dad put him in charge of all the sewers, he does a really fucking good job at it just to show him up and to be like, fuck you. Like, that's so awesome. Another little story. The reason that Tyrion isn't married isn't because, like, Tywin hasn't tried to get him married off. Nobody wants their daughter to marry Tyrion. Even the Florents and, like, the Freys have turned him down, which is, like, really sad. And that's why Tyrion's always involved with whores, because, like, no one wants to marry him, and, like, he's been taught that nobody would like him anyways. The only reason any girl would like him is for his money. That's what he's been taught by Tywin, you know? His whole family has told him that, and it's so sad. The reason that I love Tyrion is that despite the fact that he's so downtrodden, he still has self-worth. Like, he knows that he is worth something and that he's a smart motherfucker and that he has something to give back to society. And god damn it, that's so awesome. We could all take a lesson from Tyrion.
Everything I know about life, I learned from Game of Thrones.
Pretty much. Like, there's a lot that you can learn from Game of Thrones about life and personalities and people. It's real. That's what makes it so interesting. So in conclusion, the Lannisters are the family that plays the Game of Thrones the hardest. They're a power player. They got tons of money to back themselves up with. And they are groomed from birth to do whatever it takes to secure the Lannister name, okay? Like, they are all for their house. They'll fucking lie, cheat, steal, betray, backstab, kill fucking babies, okay? They'll do whatever it takes. And man, what a shitty society where the people who are just the most depraved and willing to do what it takes are the ones that are gonna, like, win in the end. Oh wait, that's still going on today in our society. And where does George R.R. Martin get his ideas for such complicated political plots of treachery and deception? Well, try real life. George R.R. Martin is a huge history buff. He's loved these books called The Accursed Kings, which is like all about the War of the Roses from England, which is a real life thing that happened, which is even more fucked up than the shit that happens in Game of Thrones. It's
Real life?
Yeah, real life. It's so crazy, like that we're worse than the people in like Game of Thrones.
So there really were dragons?